We started object level members, and here object level members means what? We need to create object and we should access. And two things you should remember. Two things. How to access object from class level area Next one, how to access object from object level area. We have two areas, na? One is class level area and one is the object level area. If you are in a class level area, right, here it is only one option we have. One option, that is using object reference variable. Using object reference variable. What is that object reference variable? I'll show you. And next one, suppose if you want to access object address from object level area, means what? Only option using self keyword. Using self keyword. We have two options. It's not a self keyword actually. Simply using self variable. First of all, I'll show you these two things. One simple example, class test. Class level area means what? Best example, main function only. Define main. Without using self means what? It's a class level area. Print class level area. What is the class level area? Main. Class level area, main. And how to access main means what? Simply class name bar. Test.main. Test.main is a class level area. Next one is a object level area. Nothing but object level method. That is what we call. Suppose one example. Constructor. Define double underscore. Is a special method now. That is define double underscore init double underscore init double underscore. Here it is a cell. Whenever we define any method using that self variable as a first argument, that is comes under object level. Here just print this is object level area. That is what constructor, and return. That is when you run this code, we are calling main function only. We are calling main. So control enters into main. Control enters into main and it will execute only class level main area. Class level area is a main. That is. And next one, object level area. Next one is the object level area. When the control executes the test constructor means what? Simple. In the process of object creation. In the process of object creation. Sir, how to create object? That we know already. Just here, execution starts from the main, and just we are writing inside. This is a test. This is constructor calling automatically, and that address we are collecting into any variable like obj. This is object creation. So whenever we are creating object automatically constructor will call see object level area, that is a constructor. Now we have two areas. One is a class level area. Second one is a object level area. Here it is a how to access in the class level area and how to access in an object level area. Sir, what we need to access? Our concept is a address. Suppose in a class level area, in object level area, if you want to access, print address, where in constructor, address in constructor. Simply we are using that self. And here print address in main. Main means what? Is a class level area. And here it is a self we cannot use. We should use what? obj. Sir, why we cannot use? Simple. We discussed already. So this is just argument. No? Argument is working like a local variable of that function. Arguments are local variables. So local variables can access only within the function. Only within the function we can access that local variable. And here also same, obj is a local variable to this function. So we can access only within the function. That is this one. Right, and here this is the way we can display. This is the way we can display the members. I mean, address we are displaying just whenever we are executing this. See, address is the same address 3022 D50 3022 D50, but one is in a object level area, that is constructor. One is in a class level area, that is a main method. That is main. So these two members very important. These two things very important. Class level area and object level area. And one more thing. Constructor constructor executes every time when we create object. Every time when we create object. Next point. Different object references need to collect different object references need to collect into different variables. Into different variables. So what is this? What is this? Very simple here. Here it is. First in the main, suppose if I'm creating object for test class, x is equals to test. Whenever you are creating object for test class, automatically constructor will execute. So inside the constructor, I want to display that address. I want to display address. Here simply self, or better integer value is a self. Integer value. Once the constructor execution is over, the constructor should come back. The constructor should come back, and here I want to display that address. Here I want to display that address. Here it is not a self. Here what we are using? X we are using. X we are using. That is just now we have seen na is okay. See, both are same. Both are same. Sir, suppose if I am creating one more object, we are creating that new object. Suppose the same concept is a y, and it is a y. Sir, whenever you are creating object, second object, whenever we are creating, sir, will it call the constructor once again? Yes. Every time it will create that constructor. And constructor always returns that address. Address we are collecting into a variable and we are displaying. Here it is, suppose variable name is a y here. Y. So constructor called 2 times. And next, suppose here it is a one more object we are creating is a z. Is it z? That is. So whenever you are creating object for test first, at some location, test object, and whenever we are calling this, first it is pointing to this one. First it is pointing. Next, whenever we are creating object, one more object will be created. One more object will be created. And here it is at another location. At another location. Now constructor is pointing to this one. ID also pointing to this one. Next, whenever we are creating object for this one more object for this one at some location, And again same story. Self is pointing to this one, object is pointing to this one. So self means what? Is always pointing to current object only. So three objects we are creating now. Do we need to write a three constructors? No, impossible case. We are not writing the three constructors. We are writing only one constructor. That's all. But that will execute every time when we create object. For every new object, constructor will call. Then automatically it will execute. Automatically it will execute the constructor. That is one. So here, whenever we are executing this, see, first two addresses are same, second two are same, and third two are same, like this. And now the concept is object level variables. Object level variables. Simple. Actually, class level variables already we have seen. Class level variables. Class level. These are free accessible members. Free accessible variables. Nothing but data. Nothing but we can access using class name. Class name. Get memory only once. Only once. And shareable. And shareable. Object level members not like that. Object level members restricted access. Restricted access. And we can access only by using object. We can access only by using object. Next one, get memory. Get memory every time. Get memory every time when we create object. When we create object. Nothing but if 1,000 objects you have created, 1,000 times object level variables get memory. Sir, why? Why, sir? 1,000 times it will get memory. What is the reason behind that? Simple. If you see one general example, then you can understand why. Actually, the reason you will understand why it is like that. Suppose here we are in a banking application. Consider we are in a banking application. Banking app. So here it is in a banking application. Two types of information. Banking means what? Mainly to process account holders information only. Account holders information. If account holder is not there, banking is not there. So account holders having common information and the specific information. Common and specific. See, number of account holders are there. Number of account holders are there. What is the common information? What they will share and permissions not required. One is a bank name. One is a bank name. Next one is a IFSC code. And such type of things. Such type of things comes under class level. They will share this data. They will share this data. because to access permissions are not required. Sir, I don't have account in a bank. Can I access how many branches they have? How many IFSC codes of every branch and all? Yes, we can. This is called a class level area. It's called a class level. Easy access. Easy access. Permissions not required. And what are object level area means what? Personal data like account number. What is it balance? What is it mail ID? What is it address of account holder? All these. Sir, how many times we should allocate memory to these variables means what? If 1,000 account holders are there, 1,000 account numbers, 1,000 balances, 1,000 mail IDs, 1,000 addresses like this. It will get memory every time when we create object. It will get memory every time when we create object, and we are not giving chance to access these members directly to everyone. These are comes under restricted access. Permissions required. Permissions required and memory allocated every time. Whenever we create object, every time the memory will be allocated. Class level data, object level data. Class level data means what? Free accessible. Free accessible. And only one time memory will be allocated. Object level data means what? Every time when we create the object. Every time when we create object. That is a difference between class level and object level. Okay, that is. And the programs we'll discuss in a next class.